Knoxville, Tennessee for the annual meeting with the Volunteers on the 3rd Saturday of October. And a Tennessee tradition, the parade of balls. The unbeaten Volunteers have a bounce in their step as they arrive, but the walk out of the stadium has been a long one for Tennessee the last 4 3rd Saturdays of October. This year, as in every year since 1928, the 3rd Saturday in October has been reserved for a special occasion, Alabama versus Tennessee. The tradition began with a 98-yard touchdown by Tennessee's Gene McKeever on the opening kickoff in 1928. In 1939, Tennessee's Johnny Butler rambled an unforgettable 56 yards against Bama. And in 1956, Johnny Majors led the Vols past the Crimson Tide. Now Majors coaches against the Tide, and his team is ranked 3rd in the nation despite losing Chuck Webb to injury. Tony Thompson has burst into the spotlight with more than 100 yards a game as Webb's replacement. The Vols are confident they can remain unbeaten. Alabama was a dominant team under the legendary Bear Bryant, but following the Bear has left successors like Gene Stallings hot under the collar. The loss of top running back Saran Stacy to injury has hurt the Tide. But getting battered and bruised by Southern Miss, Florida, and Georgia agonized Tide players and left Bama searching for answers after an 0-3 start. Quarterback Gary Hollingsworth has the Tide headed in the right direction with 2 straight wins, and the Tide is ready to roll. Neyland Stadium in Knoxville, where more than 96,000 fans have gathered to watch the 3rd-ranked Volunteers of Tennessee play host to the Alabama Crimson Tide. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. I'm Sean McDonough, along with Coach Mike Gottfried. We're delighted to have you with us on ESPN for the 73rd renewal of one of the great rivalries in all of college football, Alabama and Tennessee. They always meet on the 3rd Saturday in October. They've been playing since 1901. This year, Tennessee is playing in the national championship picture, Mike, at 4-0-2.
Sean, I still think they have a shot for the national championship. It's an outside shot. Offensively, they're a big play offensive football team. They have an outstanding array of receivers that you're going to see today. Their offensive line could be the best offensive line in the country. Defensively, for Tennessee, they've now installed a 4-3 defense by Larry Lacewell. He came over from Arkansas State. You see the 4-3 here. The 4 down linemen will continually try to get up the field. The middle linebacker is a player to watch today. I expect him to make a lot of plays in the I formation against Alabama. They run a 2-deep secondary. They're very good on defense, and the defense has changed this team around.
Tennessee an 11-point favorite here this afternoon. They have lost the last 4 meetings against Alabama. The Crimson Tide struggling throughout this season. They are 2-3. They've been decimated by some key injuries, but still a team that is capable of pulling off an upset.
Well, they are capable. They're going to have a real challenge today. The one thing they don't want to happen in their offensive football team today is get in 3rd and longs and 2nd and long situations. They have to mix it up on 1st down. They've got to throw the ball on 1st down. On defense, they must stop Tennessee from getting any big plays. I look at it like a heavyweight fight. It's a 15-round fight. Alabama has to figure a way to stay around for the 15th round and then have a shot to win. You can see the 1990, the 4th quarter woes. They've been outscored badly by the opponents, so they must do a better job in the 4th quarter.
They've had troubles in the 4th quarter because of a lack of depth. As always in football, the quarterbacks will be a key, and our expert as far as quarterbacking is concerned is on the sideline today, Neil Lomax. Neil?
All right, guys, tonight we'll feature 2 of the best quarterbacks in the SEC for Tennessee, Andy Kelly, who I feel has the better supporting cast to make him a better quarterback. Now, Gary Hollingsworth for the Alabama Crimson Tide has got to have the kind of game he had last year. 32 completions for over 379 yards and 3 TDs. He's got to have that kind of day in order for Alabama to win this football game. Sean and Mike.
Here come the Volunteers of Tennessee, led by veteran head coach Johnny Majors. Alabama leads this long series, which dates back to 1901, 38-27-7, and Alabama has won the last 4, including last year's game in Birmingham. The final was 47-30 in favor of the Crimson Tide. On the left, first-year head coach Gene Stallings of Alabama. On the right, Tennessee's Johnny Majors, now in his 14th season as head man here in Knoxville. Alabama won the toss. and deferred its decision until the second half. Tennessee elected to receive. Going back deep for Tennessee, number 18, Dale Carter. He returned the second half kickoff last week against Florida. 91 yards for a touchdown.
They're an outstanding special teams team. They will run back kicks. They do an excellent job. They spend most of their Thursday practice on returns. So look for Tennessee to be a very good team in special areas.
Phillip Doyle will kick off for Alabama. A line drive kick. Carter from the 2. Lost the football. Alabama recovers at the 28-yard line.
See on the return, one of the concerns of the Tennessee coaches was that they may be a little flat after the homecoming win against Florida. He just dropped the football.
And Darrell Pickett recovered for the Crimson Tide. 1st and 10, Alabama at the 28 of Tennessee. Robert Jones can't turn the corner. He's out of bounds at the 30 for a loss of 2. The Sears die-hard starting lineup for Alabama on offense, led by senior quarterback Gary Hollingsworth. The running backs, Derek Lassick and the fullback Kevin Turner. The wideouts, Lamont Russell, converted from tight end, and Donnie Finkley. The tight end is Steve Buskey. The center, Roger Schultz. The guards, Chris Robinette and Trent Patterson. And the tackles, Matt Hammond, he's inexperienced, and Terrell Chapman at 301 pounds. 2nd and 12 for Bama. Derek Lassick down to the 23. Darrell Hardy made the tackle for Tennessee. The Tennessee defense this afternoon. Out of the 4-3, the ends Chris Mims and Chuck Smith. The tackles, Mark Moore and Kerry Bailey. The middle linebacker is Sean Walker. The outside backers, Hardy, who just made the tackle, and Ernest Fields. The corners, Lincoln and Miley, and the safeties, Mark Fletcher and Dale Carter, who had that great performance last week against Florida, but started today with the fumble of the opening kickoff.
And this might be where they go to the all curl at the sticks right here, where all the receivers were hooked right around the sticks.
Shovel pass to the tight end, Buskey. He's hit at the 19-yard line, a yard short of the first down.
Darrell Hardy, number 87, move with the flow. He doesn't overrun it. He's sitting in good position to make the tackle right there. He didn't take off with the fake of the quarterback rolling out. He sat in the hole and waited on the play.
Gene Stallings got the big early break, but he will not gamble on 4th and 1. Phillip Doyle, one of the best place kickers in the nation. He's only missed 1 field goal this year, and you can make it 2. First miss from inside 50 yards this year for Phillip Doyle, and the Volunteers dodged the bullet. No score, and will return to Knoxville, Tennessee.
Defensively, that's what you want to do, Tennessee. They took the ball over in your territory and hold them from getting a score.
Andy Kelly on the first play for the Volunteers. Tossed it back to Tony Thompson. He didn't make it back to the line of scrimmage. The offense for the Volunteers, led by Andy Kelly, a junior. The backs, Tony Thompson, and the fullback, Roland Poles. Great wide receivers for the Volunteers. The starters are Morgan and Harper. The tight end is Vaughn Reeves. He'll alternate with Mark Adams. John Fisher, the center of a great offensive line. Myslinski and Baird, the guards. McCray and Davis, both of whom are possible first-round draft picks in the NFL, are the tackles. Thompson again out to the 22, and that's all. 3rd down and 8 upcoming for Tennessee. The Crimson Tide defenders, the ends, George Thornton and Eric Curry. Curry's playing with a knee strain. The nose guard is Robert Stewart. Inside, John Sullins and Derek Oden. On the outside, Steve Webb and Spencer Hammond. The corners, George Teague and Ephraim Thomas. And the safeties are Stacey Harrison and Mark McMillan. From the standpoint of Gene Stallings in Alabama, how much of a letdown that they did not capitalize on the fumble on the opening kickoff?
Well, it's early enough that you can override that, but still, you want to score every chance you get the ball in this scoring territory.
Greg Amsel, the fullback, rambled into the secondary and picked up the first down with a 15-yard gain to the 30-yard line.
I said earlier, Tennessee's offensive line may be the best in the country. Watch them. They were all staying with their blocks, and they open up the hole for Greg Amsler. They alternate two fullbacks. Ephraim Thomas eventually makes the tackle for Alabama.
Johnny Majors says Amsler and Foles are the best tandem of fullbacks he has ever had. Short gain on first down for Tennessee. George Thornton made the tackle on Tony Thompson. Here's Tim.
Sean, the shocker of the day. Mac Brown, congratulations. A 13-13 tie against Georgia Tech. That hurts the Citrus Bowl if Georgia Tech beats Virginia. Now we're down to just 4 unbeaten and untied teams. The reason? Central Michigan beats Toledo today, 13-12. Just 4 unbeaten, untied teams, Sean and Mike.
In this football game, we have an unbeaten but not untied Tennessee team. Kelly, good play action. Intercepted. George Teague out to midfield for Alabama. Second turnover for the Volunteers.
That's a throw Andy Kelly would like to have back. George Teague just broke in front of the ball. As you watch it here.
Blocking below the waist. Blocking below the waist. The interception team, after the ball has been intercepted, the 15-yard penalty, be half the distance from the spot of foul, the Alabama ball first down.
It's a tough call. Gene Stallings has a right to be upset. This same thing happened last week in the Oklahoma-Texas game. Oklahoma would get a turnover and then get a 15-yard penalty and start 1st and 25. You see the play action here. Andy Kelly really should have ran this football. Covered very well, and it's a poor throw, but he's going to get away with it because of the penalty here, which puts Alabama back on about the 10-yard line.
The sophomore George Teague with the interception, his first of the year, his second career pickoff. He's from Montgomery, Alabama.
This is important that Alabama get the ball out of here. They haven't really moved the ball at all against the 4-3 defense of Tennessee.
Crimson Tide wanted a new football. Ball spotted just inside the 10-yard line.
It's down against this defense.
And some concern along the near sideline as the doctors tend to Anthony Morgan. No score. We're in the first quarter. 8:40 remaining. Houston again. Bounced off a couple of tacklers, then got driven back by Ernest Fields, number 23.
Alabama tried to slow the rush down of Tennessee with a draw play, but they're back in a 3rd down situation. Not a bad situation, 3rd and 4. It's a run pass type down, but they need to pick up the first down, and they need to start throwing the football here to pick it up. I said earlier on the last 3rd down, I thought maybe they'd throw an all curl route. They take a timeout.
They do have a pass pattern called everybody hook, where that's what all of the receivers do. Alabama from its own 16-yard line, facing 3rd and 4. Hollingsworth has some running room, but couldn't get away from the tackler. Darrell Hardy again made the stop for Tennessee, and Alabama will be forced to punt.
One thing that the shotgun does for Alabama, it kind of negates the pass rush of Tennessee. It's a little tougher to rush the passer in the shotgun. But again, Gary Hollingsworth is not a real mobile quarterback, so he needs to try to throw the ball to pick up that first down.
He had just the one man to beat, and that was Hardy, but he couldn't get around him. Stan Moss shanked his first punt. This is no beauty either. Almost the exact same kick off the side of his foot and out of bounds along the far sideline.
Well, that'll drive a coach crazy. You kick 2 in a row out of bounds like that and put your defense in bad field position. The other thing about Alabama's defense, They're playing without Eric Curry on every down. Eric Curry was hurt, as you mentioned earlier, with a strained knee. When you take somebody of that ability out, 6'6", 254, eventually you're going to feel it. I look for Tennessee to start running the football right at them.
Tennessee 1st and 10 at the Alabama 36. Mark Adams, the backup tight end, with the catch, short of the first down at the 29.
Just a little curl route over the middle. He got right between the linebackers, John Sullins and Derek Golden. Andy Kelly on a 5-step drop. You're going to see Von Reeves right over the ball, right between the linebackers. They split the linebackers on coverage.
Indeed, it was Reeves, not Adams, with the catch, his first of the game. Poles into the line, stopped short of the first down. Did well just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Roland Poles. Johnny Major says he is the best blocking fullback he has ever coached.
Well, he's had some great fullbacks. Johnny Major is an outstanding coach, and he coached at the University of Pittsburgh, and a lot of people up there really like Johnny and thought highly of him. He's a very nice man. He's a good football coach, and has done an outstanding job here at Tennessee.
3rd and 3. No score in the first quarter. Reverse. Harper has blockers. Has the first down at the 20. Tennessee runs a lot of reverses, trying to capitalize on the speed of their wide receivers.
It's a good call when you're in the red zone area like this. You expect blitzes. Here's the pitch to Tony Thompson, who will now give the ball to Alvin Harper coming around on the reverse. Andy Kelly was there to block, but he just didn't pick up the block. Harper picks up the first down. Good effort by Robert Stewart, the middle guard, that forced him out of bounds.
Antonio London had a chance to get him behind the line of scrimmage, but did not. Thompson inside the 10 with another first down.
Just a sprint draw play to the right side that Tony Thompson broke back to the weak side. The player that made this play will be Carl Pickens. You see the offensive line right here. Charles McCray, Doug Baird leading the blocking. Now follow as you see Tony Thompson breaks to the outside, then gets a good block by Carl Pickens.
Thompson inside the 5.
Sean, Tennessee's tough down here because they show a lot of formations down here, so you can't really, they force Alabama not to go to a goal line defense real early here because they'll use a lot of receivers and they'll spread you out, where a lot of teams will just try to bring everything in tight and try to run the football in. Tennessee will spread you out down here a little bit more than people like.
2nd and goal from the 5. No score, 5:35 left in the first quarter. Thompson taken down at the 2. Stacey Harrison, the safety, number 1, was running stride for stride with Tony Thompson.
Excellent job by Stacey Harrison of keeping Tony Thompson from getting in the end zone. If he could have got his body turned just a little bit more, the momentum might have taken him into that checkered board end zone. But Stacey Harrison did a nice job of tackling him up high and bringing him out of bounds.
What do you look for 3rd and goal from just outside the 2?
I think they'll try to do something similar to what they just did, try to run the sweep outside.
Amsler tried to go over the top and didn't get close. That's a long way for the fullback Amsler to leap. They were outside the 2, and it was not close.
Alabama's been very good in their rushing defense. A very strong team against the run.
Just as Gene Stallings did not gamble earlier, Johnny Majors will kick a field goal.
Watch Alabama's defensive line get up the field. That's the important thing on defense. If you can get past the line of scrimmage and get penetration before he's able to go up in the air. And that's what Alabama did.
A 20-yard attempt for Greg Burke. 3-0 Tennessee. Tennessee leads 3-0 following a 20-yard field goal by Greg Burke. Joey Chapman, the punter, handles the kickoffs. Lorenzo Cole, number 40. Lost the football. They're going to say that he was down back at the 17-yard line. The Volunteers think that they have recovered, but Dave Thomas is in for a rude awakening as the officials say it is still Alabama football.
Again, Tennessee's very good on special teams, and they had good coverage on that, made the play, and almost forced a turnover. Their defense right now is number 1 in forcing turnovers. See Lorenzo Cole come in from the side over there and make the play and cause the fumble.
Tavio Henson knocked it free, but Cole was ruled down. Hollingsworth trying to throw. Hardy, the first man to greet him at the 16-yard line, a loss of 1.
Again, on the 4-3 defense, you have the extra linebacker, so your coverage is tough to throw the ball over the middle right now when you're dropping back like that. But Gary Hollingsworth needs to find a target, get the ball up the football field to him. Tennessee likes the idea of forcing him out of the pocket.
Less than 3.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Alabama facing 2nd and 11. Busty, the tight end, close to a first down. He has it. They'll spot him out of bounds near the 30. Let's check in along the sideline with Neil Lomax.
Well, guys, anytime a quarterback loses 2 star players on offense like Stacy and Sanderson, Hollingsworth's favorite wide receiver, you have confidence problems. And that's what Gary Hollingsworth's going through right now. A lot of confidence problems. Alabama's going to win this game. He's got to get his confidence back.
As Neil Lomax well knows, Gene Stallings suffered through many injuries to key players last year while he was coach of the Phoenix Cardinals. He said he had 19 players who missed 6 games or more due to injury. It's the same story this year, now at Alabama. Chris Anderson, the true freshman, couldn't get away from Floyd Miley, the junior from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Not only injuries for Alabama, but to key players, particularly on offense. Saran Stacy, Stallings said he wanted to get the ball to him 30 times a game. He's out for the year with a knee injury. Same can be said for Craig Sanderson and Prince Wimbley. Now Terrence Lynch, who was a backup who would be playing now, is out with an injury. It's been devastating.
Well, when you take Saran Stacy out, he gained 1,079 yards rushing last year and 371 yards receiving the football, so you lost a big part of your offense.
Quick pass caught. Donnie Finkley went down right where he caught the football at the 36-yard line.
The same holds true for Tennessee, Sean, when you lose a Chuck Webb. Somebody has to step in and try to regain those yards and try to give you the same type of thing that Chuck Webb did and Saran Stacy did.
That has happened for the most part for Tennessee. Tony Thompson has done an excellent job behind this terrific Tennessee offensive line. But Hollingsworth is working with a cast he is unfamiliar with. And it shows up, particularly in the timing department. It's just a little bit off. 3rd and 3. Inside of 2 minutes to play in the first quarter, 3-0 Vols. Hollingsworth will run for the first down. And that's a late hit. Jeremy Lincoln flagged for hitting Hollingsworth as he went out of bounds along the Alabama sideline.
It's a good fake by Gary Hollingsworth. They faked the power sweep off of split backs.
Personal foul, late hit, out of bounds, first down, 15-yard penalty.
Jeremy Lincoln came up late and hit him out of bounds and caused a penalty. Gary Hollingsworth did a nice job. He came out all by himself on that. There was no blocking at all. He faked everything to the left side, came out on the run by himself to the right side, was able to pick up the first down, get to 3 yards.
Best day of Gary Hollingsworth's career last year against Tennessee. 32 completions, a school record. Anderson, the true freshman, had just that man to beat for the touchdown, but he couldn't slide away from the grasp of the nickelback, Roderick Lewis.
Then Chris Anderson, the freshman, will follow blocking in number 70, Terrell Chapman, who's involved in a double team. Look at the movement they're getting on Mark Moore right here, which caused that opening on the backside. A good back like Chris Anderson saw it on the backside and was able to cut back.
Anderson has been timed at 4-4 in the 40. Here he is again. That's a tough run. He tried to steamroll Ernest Fields and came up about a yard short of the first down at the 36 of Tennessee.
A 3rd-1 situation here for Alabama. Last week, Tennessee went to a 50 defense, completely shifted out of the 4-3, went to the 50 against Florida, trying to shut down their passing game. Florida did not run the ball successfully against them last week, and that's something Alabama's going to try to exploit a little bit here early in the first quarter.
The Tide 1 for 4 on 3rd down conversions. Jones might have picked up the first down with the second effort. He has. He needed to get to the 30, and they'll spot him just across the 30 for the first down.
They like Robert Jones on short yardage situations. He's 190 pounds, where you have Chris Anderson, who's 175, and Derek Elastic about 185. So they like him. He's a tall, he's a rangy player, and on short yardage, that's the player they'll go to.
And he is the cousin of Bobby Humphrey.
Not a bad back himself.
Alabama on the move in the final seconds of the first quarter. 11 seconds remaining. Tennessee leads 3-0. Muskie dropped the ball on the final play of quarter number 1.
Gary Hollingsworth had a tough time there because Matt Hammond, the freshman, is blocking on Chuck Smith, number 56. That's a match we'll look at all day, but Chuck Smith should win that match most of the day.
After 1 quarter in Knoxville, the Volunteers 3 and the Crimson Tide nothing. This the 10th play of the Alabama drive. It's a screen, and Anderson thrown down behind the line of scrimmage. Ernest Fields, the junior, read it perfectly and made the big play for Tennessee.
Outstanding play by Ernest Fields of reading the screen pass. Gary Hollingsworth was rushed. Didn't have a whole lot of time to set it up to Chris Anderson, but you can see right there, Ernest Field, the best way to deflate a screen pass is get people up the field so the linemen can't set up and get their blocks ready so that the receiver then can follow them. Outstanding job, Ernest Fields. This is what Alabama doesn't want to be in, 3rd and long.
And at the moment, they are out of field goal range. Hollingsworth throws, caught for a first down. Donnie Finkley inside the 25 and spotted down at the 22-yard line.
Alabama went to 4 receivers and spread out the 2 deep coverage. Donnie Finkley, number 15, just breaks down on the curl. Does a good job here. The receiver coach had him go right to the sticks to get the first down. He sat down there, picked up the first down. It's a good throw by Gary Hollingsworth. He had a lot on the football.
Three 0 Tennessee. Alabama on the move. Anderson not on the move. Chuck Smith in on the tackle.
Bailey, then Chuck Smith, and then Chris Mill.
Larry Lacewell wants his defense to cause turnovers. He wants them to get into a situation where they cause fumbles or interceptions, and that's what they've done a real good job of in their early part of the season. One thing about the Southeastern Conference offensively, they're all about the same. No one really runs the option attack like Colorado did to Tennessee early in the year. Most of these offenses are mirrors. They're all doing about the same thing.
2nd and 12. Anderson thrown for a loss again, this time by Dale Carter.
Alabama ran motion to the top of the screen here to crack back on the defensive end, Chuck Smith, but good reaction by the linebackers and Dale Carter, who's a junior college football player out of Ellsworth Junior College. Interesting thing about him, in his senior year, he either returned a punt or a kickoff for a touchdown in every game his senior season. Tells you a little bit about what type of athlete he is.
Alabama 3 for 3 on 3rd downs on this drive. The shovel pass to Anderson. He's close to a first down inside the 15. It'll depend on the spot. From here, it looks like he's going to be a little bit short by less than a yard. They'll mark him down right at the 13. He needed to get between the 12 and the 13.
It's the second time they've run the shovel pass, this time to Chris Anderson, the freshman. And again, good blocking when you run the shovel pass like that. It gives time. It's almost like a screen draw type of play. He just came up a little short. Mark Fletcher made the tackle on him and stopped him from getting the first down.
Alabama will try for the field goal. A 30-yard attempt for Phillip Doyle. That's good after his earlier miss. And this game is tied at 3. 11:39 to play in the first half, and we'll be right back. The Smoky Mountain National Park, about an hour from downtown Knoxville. It is a beautiful part of the country. Following the Alabama kickoff, which rolled through the end zone, Tennessee will get the football first and 10 at its own 20 in a 3-3 game in the second quarter.
Well, time of possession right now, Alabama's had it for 12 minutes and 31 seconds. Tennessee's only been on the field offensively 5 minutes and 50 seconds. That's what Alabama has to do if they're to stay around for the fourth quarter to try to win this boxing match.
Balls keep it on the ground on first down. Thompson out to the 33, a gain of almost 5 on first down for Tennessee. 3-3 the score with 3:40 left in the first half.
Sometimes when you're struggling a little bit on offense, you like to do some different things. Tennessee went to an unbalanced line and ran to the side. They had more linemen than they usually do. Alabama did not adjust that time by moving a man over. Here's the unbalanced line again. Alabama's going to have to move over here.
The fullback pulls a very short gain. 1 yard to the 34 for Roland Poles, the senior from Caledonia, New York, near Rochester.
Nice job by Robert Stewart, the nose man. He looked like he slanted to the unbalanced line and beat the block of John Fisher, the center, to make that tackle. The defensive line for Alabama, even without Eric Curry on every play, has really controlled the line of scrimmage. Now they have the unbalanced line to the right side.
Play action on third down, man open, and it's through the hands of Vaughn Reeves, the tight end.
They came back to the short side. The unbalanced line was to the top of the screen and to the field, and they came back and tried to hit Vaughn Reeves, who was the second man on the end of the line of scrimmage. He was open, just couldn't hold on to the football. Tennessee's last 3 possessions, 3 and out.
Joey Chapman, the punter. A good kick. We haven't seen much of that today from either side. Anderson. Down to the 28. Hollingsworth with a flag down. He's down. Sacked by Kerry Bailey.
As a coach, you never really realize how much a loss can hurt you. Here's the crown of that football field we're talking about. From one side, Gene Stallings probably can't even see Johnny Majors. On the other side, the crown's so big.
2nd and 15. The sack good for a 5-yard loss. Down to 2:10 to play in the half. 3-3 the score. Kevin Turner nearly picked up the first down. He's all the way out to the 35.
The draw has been very effective for Alabama. Kevin Turner on the draw here. Dale Carter, the free safety, has to come up to make the play. Again, a good tackle on Turner, but the draw has given the offensive linemen of Alabama a chance to set and then attack the linebackers of Tennessee and allow the defensive line time to just work them around the draw.
Coming up at halftime, the Rayovac report with Tim Brando. Alabama 3 of 8 on third down. They pick this one up. The completion out to the 49-yard line to Lamond Russell.
This time Alabama came back and faked the draw to hold the linebackers. On a play-action pass, you're either trying to do one of 2 things. You want to throw at the fake the play action and throw behind the linebackers, or fake it and try to go deep. Here Alabama's not going without a huddle to try to catch Tennessee.
And because they've already used one of their timeouts, Hollingsworth throws it away. That'll stop the clock with 1:13 left in the half. Alabama 3 and Tennessee 3.
Lamond Russell, who was a tight end who made the catch on a previous play, they moved him out to wide receiver to try to bolster that position a little bit. Gene Stallings just felt like he had to get somebody outside to help receive the football and make some plays for Gary Hollingsworth.
Second and 10 for Gary Hollingsworth. He was the SEC Offensive Player of the Year last year. Tennessee players were saying they had a lot to do with that, with the great game he had against the Vols. There's the pass through the hands of Donnie Finkley.
Gary Hollingsworth did a nice job here of trying to avoid the rush, move up in the pocket, and on the move he threw a pretty good throw to Donnie Finkley that should have been caught. Here, Gary Hollingsworth off the shotgun, moves up to avoid the rush, on the move, gets good velocity on that football. That ball should have been caught. Looked like Donnie Finkley even stopped running a little bit. He should have continued to run. He knew he was close to the sideline, but yet he still had room if he would have continued to run to make that catch, try to keep his feet in bounds. Now Alabama's fighting the clock and the Tennessee defense.
On 3rd and 10, Turner, and Tennessee was not fooled. The first hit from Darryl Hardy. And the Volunteer defense holds.
Well, the draw has been effective on 1st and 2nd down. 3rd down and long, Tennessee played the draw this particular play. And the linebacker, Darryl Hardy, just sat in there and read it. Now Alabama will be satisfied to punt the football and try to punt Tennessee in the hole here with about 39 seconds to go.
And again, it's Williamson, the backup punter. After the 2-4 kicks by Stan Moss, he was removed. Williamson handled the last punt. Big rush. Thomas almost blocked it. Carter from his 16. Down at the 20. 8 seconds left in the first half in a 3-3 game. A 39-yard punt and a 4-yard return for Dale Carter.
Tennessee looks like they're just going to kill the clock.
Indeed they will. The 96,000 fans booing the unbeaten Volunteers as they leave the field. One field goal for each side, and at the half we're tied at 3. Coming up next, the Rayovac halftime report with Tim Brando. 3-3 our score at the half. Tennessee came into this football game averaging 42.3 points per game, 3rd in the nation, and averaging 439 yards of total offense per game. The Alabama defense, even with some injuries, held the Tennessee offense to 71 yards of total offense in the first half.
Well, Tim Brando is absolutely right. The 3 receptions that Tennessee has had catching the football have been by backs and tight ends. They have not hit a wide receiver with a pass yet. And the big play players are the wide receivers. Tennessee looks a little flat. Alabama, on the other hand, second half, remember, the 4th quarter has been a tough quarter for them. They have to overcome that.
They had almost twice as much time of possession in the first half as Tennessee. Down to the field, let's get the thoughts of Neil Lomax.
Well, we usually have a comment from one of the head coaches, guys, but both coaches, Majors and Stallings, would not talk to me. Even Gene Stallings, my old football pro coach, wouldn't want to comment because of the intense rivalry and the closeness of this football game. So mum's the word down the sidelines.
Well, sometimes when you're a coach, you don't even, Neil, he might not even seen you as he come out because everybody gets so emotional in this ball game, and this has been an emotional football game for both these teams.
And we should point out that Neil and Gene Stallings enjoy a very friendly relationship.
Still didn't see.
No. Gene decided he did not want to speak. Robert Jones ran into a heavy tackle as he crossed the 20 and went out to the 23. He took a big pop from Mark Fletcher.
I'm sure both coaches tried to settle their teams down. Gene Stallings trying to tell them, hey, we can win this football game. We just got to now put 2 more quarters together. So as I said earlier, heavyweight fight. We're around here in the 3rd quarter. We need to be around the 4th. Johnny Majors said we got to play with more emotion. Sure, he's trying to draw the emotion out of his football team.
Just underway in the second half, 3-3 the score. Complete to Lassick for a gain of about 5 yards to the 41.
On a play action pass like that, he was looking to try to hit Steve Buskey on a crossing route. Watch Gary Hollingsworth here on the fake. Watch a tight end 83 come across. That's his #1 receiver he's going to try to go to. But the linebacker, Ernest Fields, ran with him. So then he choked it down and threw it to the running back, Derek Lassick.
Back to the run on 2nd and 5. The fullback Turner, junior from Prattville, Alabama. Out to the 43-yard line. Again, 2 yards short of a first down.
It's a belly play where they're going to give the ball to Kevin Turney. Watch Sean Walker, the middle linebacker. Again, no one can get to him, and he's able to make the play. The middle linebacker, the 4-3, has to make those plays. I'll tell you something else I've seen Sean in this ball game. The crowd now has become a factor. They're getting into the football game. I think they were showing the after effects of last week's homecoming game, too.
And they remember how explosive the Vols were. They were just ahead of Florida 7-3 at the half last week and wound up winning 45-3. Hollingsworth guns it to the wide open Buskey. And what a tough run by Buskey after the catch. He plowed forward for an extra 7 or 8 yards, all the way to the 27-yard line.
Gary Hollingsworth faked this play earlier in the game and ran it twice. This time, Tennessee played it. Chuck Smith, the defensive end, makes him pull up. And Gary Hollingsworth, he hits Steve Buskey. He's so open, he looks around, he don't see anybody. He wants to get up the football field. Again, good field position for Alabama.
Jones to the 25, a pickup of just more than 2.
That was a play that was designed to go the backside right away. It's a run that looks like it's going to go to the right side, but Terrell Chapman, the offensive tackle, number 7, he pulled around to the left side, and Anderson got right on his belt buckle and ran right behind him. It's a design play to go the backside.
We've played nearly 4 minutes in the third quarter. 3-3 the score. Robert Jones has room along the sideline. He's knocked out of bounds inside the 17 by Dale Carter. First down, Alabama.
Robert Jones again, the biggest of the tailbacks. Watch him follow the tackle again. Matt Hammond, it's the same play they just ran before. And he breaks outside. It's a design play to go the backside. Again, he starts to the left side and breaks it back to the right side and follows the offensive tackle. Dale Carter made the tackle, the free safety, a junior college player out of Ellsworth Junior College.
An impressive drive by the Tide to start the second half. Jones, big hole. Down to the 10-yard line.
Robert Jones again, the bigger the back. Cutting all the time as he's working up the football field. Tackle made by Roderick Lewis. Now, here's where I expect Tennessee to blitz Alabama. They're going to have to come after him right now with linebackers. Here's where the blitz will come.
2nd and 3. Alabama driving, trying to take the lead. Jones with some moves. Picked up 2. He was putting the moves on Sean Walker. They basically were staring at each other for a moment or two.
Well, the one thing Sean Walker has to be able to do is stay in a square position. As you see him here, as Robert Jones gets the football, he can't overrun it. He has to break down just like he is here because you're up against good backs. And Jones still made extra yards on the play. Tennessee fans trying to get this team up, trying to get them back.
3rd down, nearly 2 for the first down. Into the end zone, incomplete. Intended for Buskey. Roderick Lewis had the coverage.
Tennessee had good pressure on Gary Hollingsworth. Chuck Smith comes up. Here goes Buskey across the middle. It's a catchable throw right here. Roderick Lewis is on him. He just got his body turned a little bit the wrong way. Good job by Roderick Lewis on the coverage.
A 26-yard field goal attempt for Phillip Doyle to give Bama the lead. It is good. He's 2 for 3 today. And the Tide is back on top 6-3.
One thing about the South, football is important. In the Southern teams in the Southeastern Conference, fans get into the football game.
Doyle bounces it down the field to Carter. Carter, burst of speed, and a good return to the 33. Good field position for the first possession of the second half for Tennessee. 1989, Tennessee versus Alabama. Saran Stacy had a big day with 125 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns, including this 75-yard scamper, as Alabama beat Tennessee for the 4th straight year, 47-30. That was the game in which Andy Kelly established himself as the #1 quarterback of Tennessee. He's been replaced by Sterling Henton, who completes his first pass to Mark Adams. Henton in relief of Kelly. Sterling's a senior from Passaic, New Jersey.
Mark Adams made a 9-yard catch there and traded it for a headache because George Teague just really leveled him. Again, Johnny Majors is trying to get something started. He's making a quarterback change here right now, just trying to get something going offensively.
Majors offensive coordinator Phil Fulmer says that Henton has given Tennessee a spark off the bench in the past. This time it's Poles for the first down. And again, players tangle as the play ends.
Well, the clock's ticking down to that famous 4th quarter here before long. And Alabama has played very inspired football. Been very impressed with the way they played on defense today. Offensively, Mal Moore mixing up the plays. Gary Hollingsworth playing well. And again, now they're about 1:44 left to go in this quarter. To just hold on and play good, solid football.
Thompson knocked back by Thornton, but not after a significant gain on first down. Thompson spotted down at the 42. He picked up about 6.
The I formation of fullback's very important here. You see Roland Poles make the block there, and Tony Thompson follow the block, and eventually tackled by Ephraim Thomas. Fullback in the I formation has to be able to block, carry the football, catch it out of the backfield. He has to be able to do everything.
Thompson still well below his average of 101 yards per game. Henton throws too high for the tight end Von Reeves. That's the kind of passes you'll see from Henton. They like to roll him out. He's not particularly tall, and Phil Fulmer, the offensive coordinator, says he throws better on the run.
He's more of a dangerous quarterback when he's outside, and he's also dangerous to run the football. Here you see him coming to his left side. He just didn't get squared up enough and threw the ball high. Again, that crown is so high in the middle. When you throw off to the side, sometimes you're going to be a little high.
1:01 left in the 3rd quarter. Alabama leads 6-3. It's been a field goal battle to this point. Henton threw it into the ground. He was pressured. George Thornton knocked him down after he threw it away. And the Tide defense holds again, and Tennessee will be forced to punt.
Sterling Henton on a drop back pass. You can see the pressure coming from inside George Thornton and Byron Holbrooks. It's tough to throw when the pressure's on you like that.
Joey Chapman. Good kick. Anderson started at his own 13. He's out of bounds at the 17. A good kick and excellent coverage as well by Tennessee. A 50-yard punt and a 4-yard return for Chris Anderson. A reverse. Look for a pass here. It is nearly intercepted. Gene Stallings told us they had a reverse pass in for this football game. He went to it deep in his own end of the field. Lee was hit as he threw it, and it was nearly picked off.
Well, you can't say Gene Stallings is conservative. Here he pitches the ball back to Derek Lassick, and the reverse comes around. Kevin Lee's going to throw the ball, and he gets hit as he throws it, almost intercepted by Kerry Bailey. Here's a second look at the same thing. Almost should have probably took this ball and just tried to run and get whatever he could get. Almost a big play for Tennessee. The Tennessee defense, remember, they've caused a lot of turnovers in the early part of the season. Alabama's not allowed them to give them the football.
Tennessee football program has had some problems off the field. Johnny Majors is a little bit sensitive to criticism that he is not doing enough to discipline his players. He says this university is indeed doing that.
Johnny Majors is a disciplinarian, and there are some problems, but there's problems all over. He gave a statistic of somewhere he read where 100% of the crimes are caused by 2% of the people, and same thing with your football team. Sometimes they make mistakes, but you as a coach, you're the father figure on the college campus. You recruited him here, but the point he made was he was concerned about the media trying to be the judge, the juror, and the executioner before you find whether somebody really is guilty. Johnny Majors, as I said before, I've known him for a long time. He's a good football coach. He's a good disciplinarian. He takes a lot of action sometimes that nobody knows about in disciplining players. So, again, he's the kind of coach, and Gene Stallings is the kind of coach you'd like to have your son play for.
2 days was that the young lady involved in the incident does not plan to file charges, and it is possible that the matter will be a thing of the past and the players will return.
As a coach, you have to wait and you have to take all the information, and that's what he's doing. This is a key third down situation for the Tennessee defense right now.
And it will be the first play of the fourth quarter as time has run out in quarter number 3. Just a field goal for Phillip Doyle of Alabama in the third quarter, and after 3, it's the Crimson Tide 6 and the Volunteers 3. Alabama 6 and Tennessee 3. The score as we begin the fourth quarter. Alabama has the football, looking at 3rd and 9 from its own 18.
Some type of draw here, maybe, or shovel draw.
Hollingsworth under pressure and thrown down back at the 13-yard line. Kerry Bailey made the hit.
Watch the Tennessee defense, number 53 and 74, twist. They're twisting to confuse the blocking assignments. They confused them so much they tried to reach out and grab them, but they were able to put pressure and make the play.
Good punt by Williamson. Carter from his own 41. A return of 4 to the 45. Tennessee goes back on the attack, trailing by 3. What a beautiful day here in Knoxville, Tennessee. Neyland Stadium along the banks of the Tennessee River. And the homestanding Volunteers riding the nation's longest unbeaten streak. 12 games in trouble in the fourth quarter. Henton throws too high. Tried to dump it off for Vince Moore, and it sailed over his head.
Well, they're going to try to get him outside. Andy Kelly, I don't know if he was hurt or they just pulled him.
I think they just pulled him because they wanted a spark from Sterling Henton. The storyline of this football game. Alabama came in nearly a 2-touchdown underdog, and they're leading the battle of field goals. Doyle's 2 for 3. Burke has converted his only chance for Tennessee. Tennessee leading the nation in turnover ratio, but they've handed it over 3 times. Alabama has controlled the time of possession. Henton just 1 for 4 passing. Now 2 of 5. The ball dropped by Reeves, but they'll say he was down at the 50, short of a first down by 5 yards.
Both these teams have storied past and great tradition. Of course, Bear Bryant at Alabama and Bowden Wyatt and Bill Battles, all the good football coaches have had at Tennessee. These are 2 rich, tradition-rich programs.
We mentioned Tennessee's 12-game unbeaten streak. The last team to beat them, Alabama, last year at Alabama. Quick hitter complete. That is the first completion to a Tennessee wide receiver today. Carl Pickens was on the receiving end, and it's a first down for Tennessee at the 42 of Alabama.
Except for the throw that Andy Kelly threw down the field a little while ago is intercepted. Neither team has tried to throw the ball down the field this week either. Last week we saw the same thing in the Texas-Oklahoma game. These receivers are so talented, you've got to try to get the ball in their hands.
And you saw the graphic. There's 2 losses in the last 24 games for Tennessee. Both have been against Alabama. Clemens McCroskey with his first carry of the day. He's a sophomore from Shelbyville, Tennessee. They think he's going to be an outstanding player. He's been held back by a broken bone in his leg suffered during preseason workouts. Tennessee 3rd in the nation in scoring offense. Less than 150 yards in total offense today. Henton going for Pickens in the end zone. Incomplete. It was slightly overthrown. Ephraim Thomas had the coverage. Tennessee a woeful 2 of 10 on 3rd down. Thornton with the sack. George Thornton threw Hinton down back at the 45-yard line.
George Thornton charges in. Watch him beat the block of the offensive tackle, and then just bring Sterling Hinton down from behind. Remember the thing about Alabama, they could very easily, 8 points separates them from being undefeated right now. They played good football. They've just had some lapses, and it cost them some ball games.
Chapman, a line drive kick. Anderson from the 10. Tackled by Shazan Bradley at the 18. Alabama with the football with a 6-3 lead with 11:42 to play. The Tide has won 4 in a row against Tennessee. 1st and 10, Alabama. Jones bounces off a tackle and picked up nearly 6 yards on 1st down. He's across the 23.
Ran the toss sweep to the weak side without a tight end. They ran to the split side, which is the first time they've run it this side the entire game. Yardage has been tough for both teams. Jones again is having a good day. Rushing yardage has been tough against both defenses. Alabama needs a long drive to conserve the time and go down and get some points.
Play action screen. Jones has the 1st down, lost the football. Recovered by Tennessee at the 33-yard line.
Play call by Mal Moore, screen pass to the tailback. And again, what Johnny Majors has done by punting the football and continuing to put him in the hole is look for a turnover from his defense, and he got it.
Sean Walker with the fumble recovery, and the fans groan on the first play of the series as it's a run to Thompson, and he goes nowhere.
On the screen pass, Sean Walker, the middle linebacker, is going to make the play, and he strips the football. Sean Walker recovers it. Darryl Hardy on the strip. Tennessee's in good field position. They've got to try to roll out the quarterback. They're bringing Andy Kelly back in.
Kelly is indeed the quarterback for Tennessee with 10:25 to play. Alabama leads by 3. Kelly down the sideline. He threw it away. Pickens was double covered. Harrison and Teague were right there with him, and Kelly had to look in another direction.
Well, they're booing Andy Kelly. He's the guy that's got you undefeated to this point. They don't give up yet. I think Andy Kelly's a good quarterback. I think he's having a rough day. I think Alabama's having a lot to do with that. They've disguised coverages. They put a good rush on him. That's a 3rd down situation. I believe he's the quarterback to get him in the end zone. It has to be Andy Kelly. I think it's a good move putting him back in. No back set.
Kelly, man open, incomplete. The ball was a bit behind Carl Pickens, and the sophomore couldn't come up with it. This would be a serious test of Greg Burke's field goal range. It would be about a 51-yard field goal. His career long is 49.
Andy Kelly sets up, moves up because the pocket collapses, throws the ball, should have been caught. A little bit behind Carl Pickens, but still should have been caught. They're going to try to tie it with a long field goal here.
A 51-yarder. Burke has had a disappointing year. This could turn it around for him in a hurry. It's good! Greg Burke with the longest field goal of his career, a 51-yarder. And with 10:05 to play, the game is tied at 6.
That's an excellent kick on the field goal, and you saw both coaches. For Johnny Majors, it turns out to be a good decision to kick the field goal rather than to punt the football or go for the first down. On the other side, you saw Gene Stallings, who knows now it's a tied-up ball game.
What a relief for Burke. He had a chance to win the Auburn game with a last-second field goal, but missed. He's missed 6 field goals coming into today, but he's 2 for 2 this afternoon, and that one ties it up.
The one thing Johnny Majors said yesterday when we talked to him, you asked him a question, would he go for a tie in a conference game? I got the feeling, even though he didn't answer it, he did not want a tie, and he'd go for a win in this particular football game.
Still time for either side to grab a win. Lorenzo Cole. Big hole up the middle. And it closes up at the 25-yard line. Alabama has not had a first down since the 5-minute mark of the third quarter. Hollingsworth threw incomplete. Pressured as he threw. And the closest man in the area was Jeremy Lincoln, the defensive back of Tennessee.
Well, what happened in the first half, Alabama was able with Gary Hollingsworth to show action one way and bring him out naked and run the ball a couple times, and he threw a completion. But now the defensive ends, both Chuck Smith and that time Chris Mims, are staying at home and putting pressure and taking that play away from Alabama.
6-6 the score. 3:45 remaining in the fourth quarter. We're at sold-out Neyland Stadium in Knoxville, Tennessee. Sean McDonough with Mike Gottfried and Neil Lomax. And Alabama has decided to use a timeout. The Tide now has 1 remaining. We'll be right back. A lot of real estate between Alabama and their end zone. 99 yards to go for a winning touchdown. What do they do here?
They've got to throw it out. They've got to be the aggressor on offense because they can't afford to punt the ball and let them get a field goal in a field goal position.
That's an incomplete pass.
Little indecision there by the official.
That's a couple of shaky passes under the shadow of their own goalpost for Alabama and Hollingsworth. He's been pressured twice, running around in his own end zone.
When Alabama goes to the shotgun, Tennessee goes to line twist. And they've given Alabama some problems with their defensive front four. This is the play of the ball game. Gary Hollingsworth has to get a first down on this throw right here. Otherwise, they're faced with punting the football and Tennessee setting up for a winning field goal. They've got to throw to the sticks, a curl route where they get the curl route beyond the sticks.
That's over everything. In the direction of Lorenzo Cole, but he had no chance. 3 incomplete passes and a punt upcoming for Alabama.
Now you got Tennessee, who should try to punt return right here to get good field position and milk that clock, either get the touchdown or set the winning field goal up.
Williamson.
Punter's got to be very careful he doesn't step back.
Good kick. Carter at the 47. Trying to get outside. He was able to turn the corner, and he went out of bounds at the 35-yard line.
Alabama has to make something happen on defense.
They're just about in field goal range now. On the ground it goes to Thompson. Greg Burke getting a pep talk from his mates along the Tennessee sideline.
This quarterback's been yo-yoed all day here in the second half, but as I said, Andy Kelly in there right now. I think John Majors, with 2:56 on the clock, is thinking one thing right now: field position and set the field goal up. Let's run the football and run it right at Alabama.
That's what they do. Amsbury into the line for a yard to the 31, and that is all. Alabama can only stop the clock on one more occasion. Tennessee has all 3 of its timeouts remaining, and we're down to 2:30 left in the fourth quarter. 6-6 the score.
Looks like Tennessee's going to take a timeout to decide whether they want to put the ball up on this third down.
This is still a long field goal from this point. It would be a 48-yarder. No backs behind Kelly. screen. Vince Moore can't shake the tackle. Ephraim Thomas, a huge defensive play, dropping Moore for a loss. And that's a big play. What would have been a 48-yard field goal is now going to be somewhere in the area of a 50-yard try for Greg Burke.
You talk about a big play now. Alabama's going to remember that play from Ephraim Thomas. He had Vince Moore, 5'10", 203 pounds, a speedster out there on the screen. He made the play. As I said before, winners have to make the play. Now they're turning it over to Greg Burke on the field goal attempt. Watch the rush up inside.
A 50-yard attempt to give Tennessee the lead. It is blocked.
I just said the rush was going to come up inside. Alabama collapsed the inside. We said last week, when you take the tee away from the kicker, which the rule stated this year, everybody changed their rush so that you rush inside so you can get the ball before it elevates. Watch Alabama all get their hands up and jump up and get their hands on it. Came from inside the tackle. Looks like number 1, Stacy Harrison, made the block from the left inside. Now Alabama's got the clock on their side to set up the field goal.
They are almost in field goal range for Phillip Doyle. Shovel pass. And it's Lamond Russell with a good effort to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Now if you're Tennessee, you got to think about using your timeouts because you want the ball back. Alabama, if I'm Alabama, I'll let the clock run.
Burke has experienced several highs and lows today, but the kicker who will be in the spotlight next is Alabama's Phillip Doyle. His career-long field goal is 53 yards. Draw play. Turner to the 32. So from this point, it would be about a 49-yard field goal try within the range of Phillip Doyle.
But Tennessee's going to let the clock run. I felt like maybe this is the time to call some timeouts to kind of use it. But now you know Gary Hollingsworth on this play is going to try to set the field goal position up. Third down, look for something to the left here to get him in the middle of the field, and then to call timeout.
Alabama has just one timeout left. Turner did not run to the middle. He's close to the right hash mark. Stopped at the 30. And that will set up a game-winning field goal try by Phillip Doyle. Alabama will let the time tick down. And Doyle will try to win it with about a 47-yarder.
Well, Alabama's going to use their timeout now with 4 seconds. I would expect then John Majors to use one of his timeouts to try to ice Phillip Doyle. But now you get into a situation, Alabama, we talked about fourth quarter. They have a chance to get that behind them and get that monkey off their back right now. Phillip Doyle on it. Expect Tennessee to call a timeout. They'll go back on the field. Phillip Doyle gets just about ready to line up. Look for another timeout. And let him think a little bit.
That 53-yarder was in 1988 against the Temple Owls. Doyle, one of the best field goal kickers in the nation. He was the All-SEC kicker last year and second-team All-American. He set an Alabama record 2 weeks ago in Bama's last game with 6 field goals against Southwestern Louisiana.
You know, you talk about the great college football atmosphere. Here, no one expected this. Everybody expected a blowout. They talked about a 2-touchdown favorite or whatever. And Tennessee, again, I think they had a tough time coming off that homecoming win. And they were a little flat, and the crowd was a little flat. And all of a sudden, Alabama came in here with that open date and played hard. Now, as I said before, I expect Tennessee to call timeout here. Nope, they're going to let him kick it.
A 47-yarder to win it for Alabama. It is good!
Is that a flag on the field right here, roughing the kicker? So this game's over anyway. sometimes when they have your number, that's your number. This is 5 straight years. And Gene Stallings, that makes those first 3 weeks a little bearable now. And people forget those first 3 weeks now.
There are a lot more Gene Stallings supporters in the state of Alabama than there were about a minute ago. There was, as Mike pointed out, a flag on the play for roughing the kicker as Jeremy Lincoln collided with Doyle, but that didn't prevent Phillip from drilling it through with room to spare from 47 yards to give Alabama a huge upset and their 5th straight win over Tennessee.
Phillip Doyle got hit there. He'll never feel it since the ball went through. Watch as he kicks the ball. He gets stuck, but he won't feel it. The holder won't feel it. All they feel is the wind right there.
Phillip Doyle, a great story. And a great finish for Gene Stallings.
He says finally.
We're impartial up here. We do not care who wins the football game. But you want to see Gene Stallings be successful at Alabama. He is, without question, one of the truly classy people in all of sports, not just this game of college football.
Well, he is. And on the other side of the field is a true sportsman, John Majors. And both these people, I think there's a lot of pride in college football and pride in the coaching profession. Both of them are good, solid people.
Down to the field, Neil Lomax standing by with the hero, Phillip Doyle. Neil?
Talk to me about that. Is that exciting or what?
I don't think we have any better finish than this. I got to give a lot of credit to our defense. Tennessee's #1 in the conference in offense. Our defense come out today. We showed what we're made about.
Now, you're a field goal kicker, but you got a bloody lip. What's that all about?
I don't know. I'm so happy. I don't care.
He's a happy kicker. Wow. A winning field goal. I mean, this is the first time, 2-3 times in a row you guys beat Tennessee now.
It's something about 3rd Saturday in October. This is 4 or 5 times in a row. And they were #3 in the nation. We came in here and upset them. So maybe a few weeks we're back in the post. We'll go out and play it hard next week.
I think he's a little bit excited. Back up to you guys.
And as you said, he did not feel the bloody lip. Phillip Doyle, who in high school sold soft drinks at Legion Field to get into Alabama football games and cheer on the Crimson Tide. There is one less unbeaten team in college football. The longest unbeaten string in college football, a 12-game streak for Tennessee, has come to an end. The final score, Alabama 9 and Tennessee 6. For Mike Gottfried and Neil Lomax, Sean McDonough saying so long from Neyland Stadium in Knoxville, Tennessee.